Hello everyone. So today's topic is tense, as we all know and we are aware of it, and I think since childhood we have been very familiar with this topic, which is tenses, right? So in today's session we'll understand some basic concepts of uh, tenses and the usage of tenses, so that whenever it comes in exam and whenever you have a question, grammatical question related to tenses, you are capable enough to answer it, right? So to understand and to solve questions related to tenses, it's very important that you have a clarity on ground level. So let's begin with the session and let's see what do we have in tenses. As we all know, tenses is a generalized topic which forms a basis for grammatical usage of English while speaking and writing both. Hence, it has importance in sentence correction questions in CAT and any exams you appear for, be it any competitive exams, and also in GD and PIs, as well as to speak correct English. Now, the types of tenses are, we all are aware, present tense, past tense, and future tense. So, tense refer to the form of a verb, right? To refer to the time of an action, we use verb in their appropriate tenses. Now, let me quickly give you a brief synopsis. We must have discussed this in, I'm sure we must have discussed this in verb chapter, but still I would like to recall. V1, V2, V3, V4, V5. Now, what is V1 known as? V1 is base form of verb. V2 is past form of verb. V3 is past participle. V4 is present participle, and V5 is present form of verb, right? But if I talk about tenses, V1 and V5 are used in present tense, whereas in V1 future tense is also used. Now, how will I decide which one to use, when to use V1 and when to use V5? Your subject, if your subject is singular, you will use fifth form. If your subject is plural, you will use V1 form of verb for present tense. Okay. Past tense is all about V2. Perfect tenses are always about V3, and continuous is always followed by V4, right? If I give you a quick example here, if I say go, went, gone, going, goes. So first of all, if I say he and they, he goes, they go. So here goes is V5 and go is V1. They went. Gone girl. She's a gone girl. Trying to kind of, define that what kind of girl she is. She's a gone girl. I will be going. I will be going. We will be going. ing. So this is how we use forms of verb in different scenario and in different ways of tenses. So remembering the table of tense is very important, which will tell you the specific rules related to it based on the time. Okay, let's understand that. So if I talk about present tense, past tense, future tense. Present tense when simple indefinite past tense, simple indefinite future tense. Verbs first form s or es are based on the subject. She walks. V2 being V2, simple, she walked. Shall or will plus verb 1, she will walk. You see V1. I wrote here, right? See, future tense, V1. If it is continuous or if it is progressive, it will be is am are plus verb ing. She is walking. Was or were plus ing. She was walking. Was comes here. She will be walking when it is future tense. In perfect, we have a combination of helping or modal verbs and then V3. You see, perfect tense V3, perfect tense past V3, perfect tense future V3. She have walked or she has walked. She had walked. She will have walked, right? Perfect tense. Perfect continuous combination of V3 and combination of has or have modal verbs, such modal and helping verbs, and also ing. She have been walking or she has been walking. She had been walking or she will have been walking, right? So these are this is a table which you must remember by heart. It should be it should be uh, it should be learned by heart and it should be in your head consciously. Remembering this is very, very important. Okay, now if I talk about pronoun, this table tells you which pronoun to use where and how to use. If it is I and we, if it is I and we, which is first person, if it is second person you, if it is third person singular, third person plural, if it is first person singular plural, you will use what? Play, eat, write, V1. If it is second person, V1 again. If it is third person singular, plays, eats, writes, goes. But if it is first third person plural, it will be again V1, V1, V1 and V5. Remember this, okay? Note, this table shows that third person singular in present tense, the verb follows S or ES. I go to school. V1, you go to school, they go to school, he goes to school or she goes to school. So remember this it's a rule, right? It's a specified rule which you must follow. But what if the form is negative? Things change here. If it is singular, first person, it is do not. If it is second person, singular plural, do not. If it is third person singular, it will be does not, V5. First form of verb with no S or ES, okay? They is third person plural, will follow do not. I do not copy, you do not copy, they do not copy, he does not copy, she does not copy. So similarly in negative sentences also it remains same as we can see, okay? Next, what if there is an interrogative sentence? In an interrogative sentence it will be do I look good? Question mark. V1, do you eat your breakfast? V1, do they eat their breakfast? Question mark, you see, question mark. First person singular, second person singular plural, whatever it is, third person plural follows the same, do, which is V1, but third person singular follows what? Does she eat her breakfast? Question mark. This is important, okay? Again, if I talk about present tense in detail, indicates an action. Present tense basically indicates an action present relative to the speaker or writer. So if it is present indefinite tense, for example, the basic form is definitely first form of verb with S or ES. So when do we use present tense? We use a present tense to describe permanent truths, universal truths, habitual things, customary activities, or maybe it is found with such adverbs as these: generally, usually, frequently, often, always, rarely, with adverbial phrase as everybody, once, a week, etc. The sun rises in the east. Universal truth, fifth form of verb, present tense. Okay, this was the first case. Okay, this was the first case. What is the second case? The second case says when we speak of the events that will take place in future time but have been planned beforehand, only a few verbs are used in this way. So, what are those few verbs? To be, open, close, begin, start, end, finish, arrive, come, leave, return. The train leaves at 2 p.m. in the afternoon, already planned. It is also used in exclamatory sentences beginning with here and there. Here comes the chief guest. It is used in general statements like your child dances very well. So you are basically praising someone, it's just a general compliment. It is also used to express general truths such as scientific fact as in the following sentences. Triangles have three sides, or a triangle has three sides. So definitely kind of scientific fact, like it is proven and it's a general truth. When do we use present continuous tense? For an action going on at the time of speaking. The boy is writing an application. It is still continued. For a temporary action which may not be actually happening at the time of speaking. I am reading a novel nowadays. Like that action is not happening, but generally in your life it is happening. Okay, temporary action. It is used for an action that has already been arranged to take place in the near future. The President of the United States is arriving on Republic Day. So when is this going to happen? Going to happen very recently and at this point of time, right? Exact date, you know the exact time period. It is used for habitual action which continues in spite of warning. For example, you are always busy chatting with your friends. Negative sentences, she is not washing the clothes. Interrogative sentence, is he going to America? Interrogative negative sentences also, aren't you sleeping? Right? So for these we use simple present tense or present continuous tense. Okay, next. When do we use present perfect? It is used to indicate completed activities in the immediate past. For example, you just completed something, and how will you say that? She has just completed her homework. For an action whose time is not definite, Neha has gone to her hometown. So when did she go? No, you don't know, but recently. You know that this is a recent thing, so you just tell. You just say it in this form. Now, it is used for past event whose effect is felt in the present. They have taken all the tests. So, and not action. There aren't any left for you. So, they have taken all the tests, which means someone has already taken everything. Or if I say it has rained here. So, what is this? This is simple present perfect tense. It has rained here. How do you know that it has rained here? You got to know with the help of the wet area, the wetty surface, the wet footpaths. After seeing those things, you could conclude that it has rained here. So this is for this it can be done. The action has not happened now, but it has happened recently, and its result can be seen. So for that we use present perfect. It is used for an action that began in the past and continued in the present moment. My mother has eaten this particular medicine for 3 years. It began in the past and even now it has been continued till the present moment. Okay, 3 years means year from now. This year, previous year, and a year previous to that. Okay, some other points important to know is with first person singular plural, second person singular plural, and third person plural. Have plus V3 is used. He has not come yet. Has she completed her homework? Haven't you completed the breakfast yet? So, we can use it that way. Okay. Present perfect continuous is used to show something that started in the past and has continued up until now for 5 minutes, for 2 weeks, since Tuesday, are all durations which can be used with the present perfect continuous. The baby has been crying since morning, which means today morning, present morning. Again, First person, first person singular plural, second person singular plural, third person plural, have been plus ing or have been plus V3. They have been playing since morning. He, she, third person singular. What will be followed with that? With that we will follow has plus been plus participle. She has been sleeping since midnight. Okay. Next. Okay, next comes the past tense. When do we use past tense? Simple. Whenever we want to refer to anything which has happened in the past, we refer to past tense. So when it comes to simple past or past indefinite, it is used for an action taking place in the past or taken place in the past, right? He went to watch a magic show yesterday. So this activity already happened yesterday. So what are we using? We are using V2, simple past. For an action in the past, regular habit or event. He called me regularly for 3 years. Called me, V2 again. In a negative sentence, we follow did plus first form of verb. I did not sleep properly. The sentence is negative. You're talking about previous day, which is in past, but you are still using verb's first form. Why? Because this is a basic rule. So you have to stick to this rule. Okay? It is used in interrogative sentences like did plus subject plus first form. Did the kid wake up last night? When did they go? With did always used first form of verb no matter what, no matter which tense. Okay? Next. Past continuous. It is used to denote an action going on at some time in the past. It may not indicate the time of the action though. They were roaming around in the mall throughout the evening. Don't know the exact timing, but were doing this activity. So past plus ing. You may also study the use of this tense with always etc. for showing a habit in the past. He was always eating in the class. So previously he used to do this for a continuous period of time. Maybe not now, but it was a habit which he used to pursue. So you can use past continuous for that. Now in past perfect, it is had plus V3 form of verb. Person both in singular and plural. So first thing first, it is used to describe an action completed in the past. Take a situation of two actions. Remember, this is very important. Past, see, it's very, sometimes it will always be difficult for you to understand which one to use, past perfect tense or present perfect tense. Always remember, past perfect tense will always consist of two actions with it happening in the past. In such cases, it may be necessary to show which action happened earlier than the other. So now she had gone to Mumbai last week before her mother came. So two actions happened. Before her mother came and she had gone, right? Two actions happened at the same time. Other one can be simple past, can be past continuous, but one has to be perfect and one has to be any other action. Sometimes preceding action is implied and is indicated by the use of ever, just, recently, already, yet, so far, till, by the time, before, after, etc. I had finished the breakfast before they came. I had already taken breakfast. Okay, so whenever you use push towards had by using words like before, just, after, till, all of this, that is always a past perfect tense. This tense is also used as time expression with since, for long, for half, for how long, whole, all, throughout, all long, etc. She had owned this mansion for 5 years. She had owned, matlab, during that period she was the owner. Okay. Next, past perfect continuous, simple things happened in the past for a continuous period of time is past perfect. It shows an action that began in the past before a certain point and also continued up that time. So I had been driving, had been ing, past perfect continuous, right? Next. Okay, future indicates the event described by the verb as not having happened yet but expected to happen. Always remember, future is always about expected to happen in the future. What is future indefinite tense? Shall or will plus first form of verb. Ordinarily, shall is used with first person of pronoun INV, whereas will is used with second and third person. Okay, remember this. Shall always with first person singular plural, and third always with will always with third person and second person. So to express the future as fact, I can use future tense, simple future. I shall be 24 next month. It's a fact that I will be 24 next month, right? It is used to talk about what is expected to happen in the future. I think India will win the World Cup. So, and something is going to happen, and you are making some predictions. Okay. In negative sentences, we shall not fight with them. So maybe we are going for something, but and we shall not be doing this. Already talking about future incident. It is used in interrogative sentence, and the rule says that will or shall will have subject and the first form of verb, be it singular plural, it will have first form of verb. You see, shall we complete the project? Will you eat breakfast with me? So second person or based on the subject, we will always use first form of verb here. Okay. Future continuous is used when an action that will be in progress with a point of time in future. Okay, in future something is going to happen and it will take place continuously. So in that case, we definitely will go with future continuous. She will be sleeping when I reach her home. Get home at once. Your parents will be wondering where you are. So for this, we can use future continuous. This tense is also used to express the future indefinite tense of definite future arrangements. Like, he will be going to school by bus today. She will be arriving tomorrow to meet her old friends. Something which is going to happen next day or maybe someday in future, and that is going to happen or take place for a continuous period of time. So in that case, we will go with future continuous tense. Future perfect is used to show the completion of an action by certain time in the future. Like, I think the news will not have been published so far. He will have suffered a lot by now since his birth. So something which is like still happening and will happen even in future. So with that, we will use always future perfect. Now, very interesting. Future perfect continuous will be used for action that will be in progress over a period of time that will end in the future. By next March, we shall have been staying here for 2 years. By next March, you see, by next March, something which is telling you about future, something which is perfect, and that too continuous. And then again, you get to know the duration of that period. So for this period of time, or for this limited amount of time, this activity will take place. So in that case, we will go with future perfect continuous tense, right? Okay, some future expressing events are, it is used when the speaker is making a prediction based on evidence. It's going to rain. So based on the evidence, like maybe it's cloudy, the cloud is like, there are roads in the sky. So you're predicting that maybe probably it is going to rain. When the speaker already has an intention or plan, we are going to enjoy the party tomorrow. You have an intention to enjoy some party, so you will use future tense. It is used to talk about the impending event. He is about to make a change in the plan. Something which is going to take place because it is not yet a part of it, but it will happen sometime in future. Okay. Some important points. With did, always use first form of verb. Use am, first form of verb and ing are used. With am, you will use first form of verb and ing. I am going to school. With does, no s or es is put with the verb. She does